Okay, I'm looking a little bit crazy because I just worked out and yada yada. But I would like to tell a story about how fucked up and ridiculous healthcare is, and how it's all the silver spoon, shiny object syndrome, privileged executives are fully accountable and responsible for this. Also, our society at large, capitalism, it's all right. Like, capitalism is the reason why we have these healthcare problems. Anyways, so I was working at an organization. We were implementing a secondary editor. We put our edits on too tight. So our appeals were blowing up because we said, oh, you can only have this many units. Because in the data, this was like the, median trend number. So we're going to set our edit at that. Well, that didn't have all the right subject matter experts involved in that discussion. So obviously a lot of context was missed, and that really wasn't the right decision. But it took 6 months, tens of thousands of dollars of waste for the appeals team, and lost savings on this new software that we had just purchased. This was a large payer in the state that I live. And the majority of claims, I mean, this payer has pretty much the market share in my state. So providers bend to that, right? That's what providers' offices do. Whatever all their patients are doing, they're also trying to find that median so they can do that too, right? We're all working with these consultants and these revenue cycle managements that are telling us all this stuff and giving our executives all these nice little presentations, but we all know that it's a house of cards. People who really know this work know that that's all, like, I don't even know what we call that right now. But anyways, we're processing millions of claims, applying all these tight edits. Appeals are blowing up. Then we start communicating with the appeals department, and we start like loosening some of those edits so that we don't have as many appeals, because automation, in my humble opinion, should always only be for always never situations. It's always true, it's never true. If it's maybe, if you don't have the right type of technology, leave that alone and let a human figure that out. But that's just me. So again, and it's too tight. We made some decisions. Oh, we'll let them do it on appeal. Let them do it on appeal. Appeals are so wasteful. Anyway, fast forward. Actually, back up for 1 second. One of these edits had to do with allergy testing. And I've been getting allergy tests since I was little. I'm allergic, okay? And the allergy test, each little prick and the vials, they're all different units. And that's where the edits are set. So again, we took this midline trend and we're like, okay, boom, right in the middle there. That's where we're going to put the edit. And if it's more than this number, it's going to get denied and they have to do an appeal. Fast forward to 8 years later. I'm at the allergy immunologist doctor. And I need to get an environmental panel and a food panel. Again, because you do have to get them when you're like me. And most people change over their life anyway. Let me not get down a rabbit hole. So I live in a rural area. This place is an hour away. So I'm like, I've had to be off all my meds and on steroids, and it's a global pandemic. And I'm like, let me get this all done with. So I go there expecting to get my environmental and my food done at the same time, which, hindsight's 2020, I'm glad I didn't do that because I had really bad reactions and it would have been terrible if I did both. But there's no medical reason why they don't do it on the same day. When I go in there, they're like, insurance will deny it. So here I am 8 years later, experiencing that stupid too tight edit that company implemented. And now this provider is basically like, they're going to deny it. I don't want to appeal it. I don't want to deal with all that. So now they have changed their behavior that is impacting the level of care that I can get, because some executive signed a multi-million-dollar contract with some third-party company to run their software in an inappropriate, uninformed way. And that is just one teeny tiny example of how this healthcare ecosystem is just so beyond mucked up and just garbage. It has been ruined by these third parties that are now just basically, United Healthcare has pretty much bought everything, Optum, all of these little companies. Change Healthcare was doing that a few years ago, buying all their little competitors, hiding all the good technology that we all really need to actually have some interoperability in the system. But that's not going to happen because these consultants make money because the businesses they're consulting for never figure out what to do because these consultants only know surface level stuff. And all the operational people down here are just being slammed down. And there's a glass ceiling from these silver spoon privileged people that are executives. So like how do we get out of this? Like, this is a very concerning thing to me. Like, that's why I keep shifting in my own career, where I was like, oh, startups. And then I'm like, oh my God, these people are literally doing crimes. These people literally have no experience in this industry. These people literally don't even know what the problems are to solve. And like, that's why now I've like completely left medical and I'm like in the dental space. But I have been boots on the ground from these, upgrading from DOS-based systems, like into these systems. Like, I have watched and seen this happen over the last 16 years. And it is so sad to see an industry crumble. And I know every industry experiences this. I mean, God, look at our poor world. I mean, it's crumbling around us. But, I just, this just really felt like sharing this. So, yeah, that's my story. Healthcare story time. Maybe I need to make this a thing.